Hello and welcome to the SMI shooting floor on the Mahe Bengaluru campus. I'm Niret Alva and I'm here to speak about a brand new series that we're about to shoot. It's called PG Talks at SMI. We are here to speak to faculty members who are going to talk about these fantastic postgrad courses so that you know which one to apply for and which one to choose. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to PG Talks at SMI. With me today is a very special guest. His name is Bharath and he runs a freshly minted brand new course which has lots of exciting possibilities. Bharath, introduce yourself and tell us about this course.
Well, my full name is Bharath Murthy and I am a comics author and also a filmmaker, and I started my career actually in painting, went on to study film and eventually ended up combining these two media in comics. I've been practicing as a comics artist over the last 15-20 years. I have been a published author of graphic novels, and I've also started along with others, co-founded an independent comics festival called Indie Comics Fest, which remains the country's premier, practically the only platform for independent comics artists to showcase their work. And I have been trying to build this kind of comics ecosystem over the last decade or so. And this course is also a step in that process.
So tell us a little bit about this course.
The course is called the Master of Arts in Comics and Graphic Literature. It's a handful, but we insisted on calling it both comics and graphic literature because we didn't want to restrict the medium to the idea of only the idea of comics that people are used to. When you say comics, you remember Asterix and Tintin and Superman and Batman and Chacha Chaudhary and these kind of Tinkle magazine. But for us, comics encompasses much more than that, hence graphic literature, because we want our students to be thinking in expanding the medium into new areas, and also taking on challenging subject matter and working on long form graphic books.
Okay. Can you share with me the kind of students you're hoping will apply for this course and come here to study? Who is your catchment area?
First of all, a person who is very passionate about the medium. The medium is a unique one because it kind of combines many skills, your drawing skills and writing skills, the ability to tell stories, and the ability to execute them in a certain way. It also requires consistency and discipline because it's after all it's labor. It's hand drawn. Even if you draw it on the computer, there's a lot of labor involved, and so that kind of discipline is also a part of the art of making comics, and also a curiosity of the world around you. That would enable you to discover new material.
I'm a potential student and I go to the website and there are these two things that I am supposed to fill up. There is the SOP and there is the EOC. Sounds a bit scary. So tell us a little bit about that and what is the ideal way to go about filling these in?
The SOP, which is the Statement of Purpose, is a written document that students have to fill up. And which helps us to kind of understand the students' motivations. So the statement of purpose is essentially a statement of motivations and intentions, and for us to gauge where the student is coming from, so that might include something kind of, it could be anecdotal. It could be anecdotal and could include examples of where the student, how the student has come to be interested in the medium. So, we would like potential candidates to express their or describe or elaborate on their passion. I think that is the key point in the statement of purpose. The EOC, which is the evidence of competence, are practical proofs of that passion. So, that is why these are two separate things. So, the EOC is the proof of your passion, and so we want to put the 2 and 2 together and then form a comprehensive picture of the potential candidates. So, that allows us to choose one over the other. And evidence of competence should have some kind of proof of medium level drawing skills as well as ability to write. So, there is writing skill and drawing skill both displayed together digitally, hand drawn. The wider the range, the better. So, that increases your chances.
Now, I am going to ask you a slight trick question. So, because look, you mentioned earlier that we started with doing stuff with our hands, then we moved digital, and now you have this big AI specter over everything else. What's the point of doing this course if eventually a machine can do it better than me, or perhaps execute my own ideas better than I can? What would you say to people who are saying that AI is going to take over this space?
Well, what AI can do very well is give you from the comics perspective, it can give you a rough idea of where you want to go, but your destination or what you want to finally do, your goals, is I think entirely in the artist's hands. And AI can nudge you a bit here and there. It can help you with storyboards, and which is something that one can encourage. You want to test out a certain scenario. So, you might use AI and put your script in and then try and see, okay, this kind of visual or that kind of visual. But in order to actually tell the story, I think there is nothing that can replace the human imagination. So, the end goal is what the human imagination can do. AI is something, we see AI as a tool that might be helpful, or you might not even use it. I mean, it's up to you. So, but if you use it, I would see it as a tool to help you reach that goal.
Got it. One question. So, I've signed up for this course. Can you tell me a little bit briefly what my 2 years here will be like?
It is, of course, 2 years are 4 semesters, and I'll go from the end to the beginning. The end is a capstone project where you display all the skills that you have accumulated over the course of 1.5 years. And we would ideally like it to be a substantial graphic literature project that is possibly publishable that one can put out into the public. What we start out with is a comprehensive deep dive into the history of the medium in all its forms, and combined with research into the medium itself, because in comics in India have been researched but not researched well enough. Comics in South Asia is a special focus. So, these are things that we want to emphasize, the history of the medium as well as where the medium can go. So, there is this experimental side where we want you to try out different techniques of expression, move out of your comfort zone. So, different exercises and projects enabling that to happen. So, there is some hand holding, some guiding over the first year. Over the second year, there is a major focus on the graphic novel as a medium, and that is something that we are very, very keen to encourage students to dive into, because within the comics form, the graphic novel is something that has grown very rapidly, and a lot of publishers are interested in publishing graphic novels today. So, we want to make students ready for that. So, the final capstone project is also something that we would like students to focus on in terms of the graphic novel.
Building on what you just said, what are the kind of doors that open to me potentially as a student when I finish? What are the kind of avenues that I can sort of go down when I finish this course?
Immediate, of course, there are many areas, many doors that can open. One of the immediate areas where one's skills can be applied in is drawing storyboards. Storyboarding is these days becoming far more important in filmmaking, and also in all kinds of other media, including in digital marketing, those kind of spaces as well. The other areas is, of course, you can become a professional comic book artist. You can work for companies, global companies who are publishing comics around the world. You can become a graphic novelist. You can also move into doing further research and pursue a PhD in the same area. And many institutions across the world are also offering practice-based PhDs, and perhaps Shrishti Manipal too will consider offering those kind of courses in the future. But this is a start, and this is the first of its kind, and I have to emphasize that the Master of Arts in Comics and Graphic Literature is the first of its kind in India, and we are hopeful that this will only grow and create a larger ecosystem.
Bharath, look into that camera and speak to potential students. How would you speak to them if you were speaking to them directly?
Potential candidates. It would be a pleasure for me to interact and to be able to guide you all through the process of you becoming professional comics authors, graphic novelists, and it would be a privilege for me to be mentoring that whole process, because it's something that we recognize that is a vital area in this broad ecosystem of what is called the AVGC industry, and in terms of developing comics as an important medium of expression, of popular expression. It would be wonderful to interact with you all. Shrishti Manipal provides an ecosystem which is not just comics and graphic literature, but there's a larger master's ecosystem that is integrated into this course. So they can also pursue interests alongside comics and graphic literature that might in fact help them to engage with the medium better. So that is something that we at Shrishti Manipal offer, and it would be wonderful to interact with future students. I invite you all to apply.
Bharath, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so
and
much.
all the best with the new course.
Thank you.
Yeah.